Gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back to MGTOW Money, the fastest growing MGTOW channel on YouTube. Today we're going to be discussing millennials and financial independence. How those MGTOW, let's say 18 to 34, something like that, can achieve financial independence, can retire early. And let's say basically anybody who is going to retire early is going to be doing so before age 50. If you can do it before age 50, you've really achieved something. Before we get to that, though, let's set the table. This, of course, is MGTOW 2.0. This is the second wave of MGTOW. We won't be discussing women. I won't be discussing politics. This is about actionable, practical ideas on retiring early, on financial freedom, on increasing the choices and options in your life. That's what you want. You want a rich person's life. You want to be able to make lots of choices. You don't want to have them forced upon you. Poor people have their choices and options limited and forced upon them. That is what you don't want. Moving on to today's topic, let me start with a general statement. Everything you're going to hear me talk about when I get into specifics is related to two things. Number one, when you're between 18 and 34 years old, you want to focus on not being tied down to anything. You already know that you don't want to be tied down to women, but there's lots of other things you also don't want to be tied down to. So you want to keep your options open. Point number two you're going to hear me talk about is you want to focus on earning money. Focus on earning money and not spending that money that you're earning. So again, two easy ideas, keeping your options open, earning money and not spending that money. So let's get into specifics. Number one. If you're between 18 and 34, I highly recommend that you do not buy any real estate whatsoever. Do not buy any real estate if you're between 18 and 34. Let me tell you why. Yes, I did a video of the importance of getting control of your biggest monthly expense, which of course is housing. However, if you're buying real estate, you are tying yourself down. You are forcing yourself into a position to where you potentially are going to need to stay in a certain locale for 5, 7, 10 years. Who knows? The point is, you don't want that. You want to be free as a bird. You want to be able to move from city to city, state to state, country to country if necessary, at the drop of a hat. You want to be able to go where the money is. You want to be able to do let's see, back 10 years ago or so in the United States, there was an oil boom, for example, in North Dakota of all places with fracking. Lots of people moved up there. They made very, very good money, six-figure money. In other words, $100,000 US plus jobs, driving trucks, doing manual labor type, unskilled type work, that type of thing. The point is, you want to be able to move to where those cones, if you will, those areas of serious money are available to you. If you're buying real estate and it's for your residence, in other words, if you're buying it and not for investment purposes, you are making an error. So, what do I recommend? 18 to 34, get yourself the cheapest apartment you possibly can. Even if necessary, bring in some roommates. But the point is, you want to live cheap. No, I'm not talking about living with your parents. That's the last thing that I recommend. I recommend exactly the opposite. Get out from under your parents' roof. Get the cheapest place on your own you possibly can find. I can remember years ago, and I bet you I could still find places like this. I was paying $200 US a month. $200 US a month. No, it wasn't some great Trump-style condominium, apartment, etc. in the sky, I can assure you. But those types of low-dollar deals are available, and you can survive at least for a few years in doing that, and you can really save some money. So, again, if you didn't get the first time, I'm going to give it to you a second time. Don't buy any residential real estate unless it's for investment purposes, and very few of you are doing that between 18 and 34. So, again, don't buy a house. Point number two. Don't buy an expensive car. I'm putting expensive in quotations. Of course, that's going to be unique to you. But if nothing else, do not buy a new car. Again, buy the cheapest car that'll get you around town that you possibly can afford. You want to focus on acquiring assets. When you're between 18 and 34, you want to acquire assets, not liabilities. A car is a liability. Unless that car is directly putting money into your pocket, it is a liability. As Robert Kiyosaki says, great line from him, assets feed you, liabilities eat you. That car, 99.9% of the time, is a liability and it's eating you. That house, if you buy it at a young age, many, many times, is going to be eating you. It is going to be a liability. Again, you want to focus on acquiring assets. Number 3, I know some of you are going to fall over about this one. Do not buy any pets. In particular, dogs, cats, etc. Yes, I love pets, and I in particular love dogs. And most of my life I had dogs. However, you don't want to tie yourself down. You don't want to limit your options. Furthermore, pets are becoming, unfortunately, a very expensive luxury in today's world. It's amazing how much the veterinarians and the pet industry and that type of thing is charging. Again, I love pets. I think they're fantastic, but I think it's better to let somebody else have them. Point number 4, when you're getting to investing, when you've paid off all your debt and now you're looking at investing, let me give you a specific rule of thumb that you have to be very, very careful of, and lots of people fall into this trap of investing money, nearly all their money, if not 100% of their money, into their company stock. So let's say that I work for ABC company and stock is available and I'm putting money into my company and I feel good about it, etc. If I'm putting all my money into my company stock, that is a serious error. That is extremely risky. I cannot emphasize enough. Tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of men got wiped out 15, 20 years ago. Let me give you some names that you might have heard of from the past. Older MGTOW will know what I'm talking about. Lucent Technologies, Nortel Networks, Enron. These were all huge, multi-billion-dollar international companies that went bankrupt. Their stock went to zero. People got wiped out. People had so much faith in all these companies, they put all their money into it. They put hundreds of thousands of dollars, lifetime savings into it, and it went to zero. I, for example, work for a company, a large billion-dollar company, and the stock went from about a high, peaked at about $37 a share. It finished up at 3 cents a share. And yes, many people that I worked with, past tense, followed it all the way down. They held the stock all the way down. So in other words, we didn't go bankrupt. We got bought right before we went bankrupt, and that was at 3 cents a share. So they might have spent $20 for the stock, and they sold it at 3 cents. Needless to say, you don't want that to be you. Let me finish by saying, gentlemen, we are, of course, building a MGTOW army of financially independent men. And because we're going to move this forward, I need your help. I need you to post this on forums. I need you to let other people know about this channel. As always, hit the like button if you found this information useful. Hit the subscribe button to be notified of future videos. John Galt, out.